Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Heed the call.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G Business.
It's time to give stuff away. It's time to give stuff away.
All right, it's a return of Sonic Temple, the art and music festival at historic Crew Stadium down in Columbus. They've expanded it to 4 days, 96 days, 22 hours, 38 minutes, and 38 seconds from now. You can be there the 16th through the 19th of May. Disturbed, the original Misfits, Pantera, Slipknot, those are your headliners. Limp Bizkit and Stained and Anthrax and Evanescence and Mudvayne and 311. Sleep Token, Rise Against, Judas Priest, Clutch, Mr. Bungle, Code Orange, Cypress Hill, Machine Head, and lots more. There's a handful of local bands in there, too. I got 4-day GA, general admission, stadium passes for you. You and a pal all weekend at Sonic Temple. Good luck. Last pair this week. Call 10-216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
I met Alan.
Did you?
I gave him marijuana.
Oh, great.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
SonicTempleFestival.com. Love Clutch. We'll have all the details for you. I'll probably have more tickets to give away as we get closer to that weekend, but you never know. Can't count on anything these days. Hey, you can count on $1,000, though. I got another $1,000 for you about 7 or 8 minutes from now. Another $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie. 4:30 and 5:30 are your last keywords today. And then we'll start them up Monday morning. Sorry. That was a water burp. It's not even carbonation. I'm sorry?
Not a burp.
Oh, man. Oh, I almost got...
That was almost a burp.
Right. That one smelled like lunch.
Ew, it was lunch.
Chicken and vegetables. That one smelled a little bit like green peppers and cilantro. Nope. Not that one. Is it? It's an actual burp if it has a smell attached to it?
No.
If it has a
it's
noise
the sound.
attached to it.
Oh, so it's the noise.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not the smell?
No one associates, like, burps, yes, can have a smell, but you think of a burp, you think of the loud
You think of an
noise that
audible
yes.
expression. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the one and only criterion of a burp.
It's not the one and only, but it's the
That's what I'm
most
asking.
notable
That's the one
aspect.
people want, is what you're saying.
Right. So
If
when
you're going
you
to
say,
give
I'm
people...
going to burp, and you go, that's an exhale. That's not a burp.
Yeah, but people text me every time I do it, and they go, that's exponentially grosser than an actual burp.
I didn't say it wasn't grosser. I just said it's not a burp.
All right. So the noise is what people want. If you want to give people what they want, and you know I do, I got to do the noise. Well, then maybe I'll work on it. I mean, at 52 years old, I should be able to audibly belch.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, but my body doesn't want to do that.
You can't just suck in some air and go.
My whole life. Yeah, see, my whole life, from a kid. I've been trying this my whole, suck in air. I don't know what that means. Sucking in air just makes me feel bloated. What do you mean sucking in air?
Because you're not burping it out.
I tried. It's never worked.
Come on. You're going to make me puke, dude.
Really, that?
I already don't feel good, so listening to him make noises out of his stomach is not something I want to listen to.
Oh.
Throat.
I don't care where it's coming from.
Will it make you feel better if they've announced that O.J. Simpson has prostate cancer? Will that make you feel better?
No.
Oh. I mean, listen, I'm sure there are no shortage of people taking some comfort in that. People who think that OJ got away with murder because, let me check my notes, he did. So who knows? Well, he had a good run, right? No pun intended. He had a good run. But
I mean, just because you have prostate cancer doesn't mean you're going to die from
that
it.
is true, but it's not something you want to have at 76 years old. It depends on when they get it. Prostate cancer is one of those things where they're like, well, sometimes the cure can be worse than the affliction, depending on when they get it. But 76, not a great time to get it. I don't know. Somebody speaking of puke, and then I won't. But we were talking about it yesterday and how it can. There's actually a name for what that is when seeing or hearing someone puke makes you do it. It's called like it's got some fancy biological name, and I don't remember. Maybe somebody will tell me. But somebody texted me when Mary said she saw some guy vomit. She was coming out of the subway, and it almost got her on a thing. I don't know if anybody saw the video of Wolf Blitzer on CNN. He's talking to Jamie Raskin last night. Wolf Blitzer has been on CNN since, like, the beginning of time, right? He got famous during the goddamn Gulf War, and he's been there ever since, and he does a show called The Situation Room. And he was talking to Jamie Raskin, who is one of the congressmen there, and it was a split screen. And if you get a chance to watch it, it is kind of funny. Wolf Blitzer is clearly in some kind of distress. He's clearly suppressing a vomit. He's going to puke, and you can see him swallow. You can see him kind of get the chipmunk cheeks. And so they cut away. Not only do they cut away and do Jamie Raskin full screen, they cut him off and go right to commercial and come back with a different host. And they were like, Wolf wasn't feeling well, but for a good 25 seconds, he looks like a guy who's going to vomit on camera. And it's a real bummer he didn't. Anyway, somebody texted me and said, I was on the Jet Express. That's the one that goes out to Put-in-Bay.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend and my 8-year-old son were with me, and a girl who was hammered was on the front top deck.
No.
Spraying red fruity puke all over the side of the boat.
Damn margaritas.
Covering everybody of the top and bottom decks before anybody knew what it was. Because it's very windy on that boat.
Come back and hit you.
Oh, my God.
Ugh.
It's just the worst. If it's red like that, you have to hope that it's mostly non-puke, but you're still expelling it from your body.
Once it's in your body and it comes out, I don't care how long it's in there.
It
it's
smells
puke
different.
now.
Yeah.
It's changed.
It's gone through the transformation?
Enough that it's...
It's vomit.
All right.
Dude, and yeah, like a bumpy ride on a boat, like to Put-in-Bay, it's rough. Like it's almost like the boat is hitting cement. Like you can fall. If you're drunk, it's already bad enough. Like when you're sober, trying to keep your balance. But if you're drunk, you're hammered out of your mind, and you're trying to stay afloat. Trying to do the Titanic,
especially if you get motion sickness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's people who could be stone cold sober, but the motion sickness is going to make them feel weird.
I can do a big boat, but last time I went out on like a small boat, I was so sick
because you feel everything.
Yeah, not my idea of a good time. And then for whatever reason, like, let's eat out here, and I was like, I really don't want to eat right now.
When's the last time? What do you consider a small boat? Because like the Fandango cruise.
I don't consider that a small boat.
That's not a small boat. No, like a speedboat.
Like a speedboat, yeah. Like my buddy owns a boat, and one that you take out to go water skiing.
And you feel the waves.
Yeah.
You're hitting them. You're hitting the wake of other boats. And
I haven't been on one of those in a long time.
And then like all last summer, he's like, hey, you want to go back out on the boat? And I was like, no, I'm all right. I don't need the little boat.
Because you have the sense memory of feeling that on the, that's no good.
The catamaran, I was trying to be cute and frolic. You know how they have like the little netting on the front of the little catamaran boat where you can just like lay? I thought I was trying to be hot.
You were laying on the skids?
No, I don't know what it's called. There's just like a little net in the front where there's like it's right on top of the water.
Yeah,
So
between like the two skids there. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. And so I'm like laying there, and it hit a bump, and it was just a wave of water just came down on me. Thank God I didn't have my phone, but I was like, this isn't glamorous. And my friend took a picture right at that moment. He said, "You gotta frame this." I'm like, no.
You look like a drowned rat.
It was like it wasn't even like you couldn't even get my reaction because it's just like my legs and then the water. The water is just a wave hitting me. I'm like, all right, I don't want to do this no more. They make it look glamorous and it's not.
Right. Okay, let me give you this money here. It's your second to last chance this week to win $1,000, but somebody wins every time, so I hope it's you. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Al, do you think Bill Maher should release his Kanye interview? Yeah, our buddy Bill Maher did a 2-hour, he has a podcast. He did a 2-hour conversation with Kanye West.
He's not going to release it.
He's not going to release it.
It's yay.
Because he said, I have no interest in platforming. I don't know who he thought he was going to get,
Then why did he do it then?
Well, I mean, listen, to his credit, I know a lot of people don't like Bill Maher, but I do and always have. And, he's always been a friend to this program over the years. And, but he does get on people's nerves, and I can see that. Gets on mine sometimes. But to his credit, he's willing to kind of hear a lot of people out. So maybe he thought that Kanye is out there saying stuff just to get people's attention.
I think.
But one-on-one, it might not be that way, and that's not what it turned out to be.
But Kanye has been Kanye for several years now. And he is perpetuating the same thing Kanye was saying, where people are trying to like shut me down and shut me up, to edit it down to make it more palatable for the viewers. You're kind of censoring him.
Well, he
but I
doesn't
can
edit this
understand-
though. This isn't an edited podcast.
I
He
think
sits down with them, and I guess he did a couple hours with Kanye, and he's like, I'm not going to put this out there.
I think this was Bill Maher being a bit egotistical, thinking like, well, I'll be the one that'll be able to get through to Kanye and get him to tell me what's really going on.
I think you're right.
And then when it didn't happen, he goes, oh, no.
Right, yeah.
I can't release this.
I can't be responsible for this.
But like not airing it at all is just, I don't know.
Well, because I'm guessing it's just more of the same crap that Kanye's been saying. So he's like, well, I'm not going to put this out there.
But again, he knew that. So it's more like it's a, what do they call it? Catch and
release? Like
Catch-22?
Yeah, Catch-22.
I guess. Well, when they catch it, catch and kill.
Catch a Moran?
Oh, a catch and kill story, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they were like, oh, they wanted the exclusive, they wanted the content, and then maybe Kanye was waiting for, he gave this guy an exclusive that he didn't tell anybody else, and he was waiting for it to come out so he could like release something, and then they killed the story because, I don't know,
Well, again,
censoring him.
this isn't the National Enquirer. It's just his podcast in his house, and he sits down with people, and he talks to all different kinds of people. He'll talk to David Mamet, and then he'll talk to Dave Rubin, or he'll talk to
Dave Rubin
some
is so hot.
right-wing guy that, a ton of people hate, but he'll sit there and talk to him. He was talking to Harvey Levin about the Kanye interview.
Problem, I think, is that he appeals mostly, of course, he's a rock star, to young people. They don't know much, and they surely don't know much about the Middle East or Jews. So the combination of, Kanye out there, I feel like he sort of like was helpful for spreading the fertilizer, and I do mean fertilizer, for this idea that Israel and the Jews are like the worst people in the world. I had Kanye right here at Club Random. We did an episode with him. I thought it was going to be a learning moment. I mean, we were here for 2 hours. By the way, we had an amazing, fun time. He's a very charming anti-Semite. And by the way, he's not the only one in America who feels that way. It's not like the Jews are universally loved except for Kanye West, okay?
Hold on, Bill. You could say the same thing about Hitler. A lot of people were thinking what he was thinking, but in Kanye's case, the fact that he's saying it out loud gives other people permission to say it too, right?
Yes, exactly. No, he's not. That's why I wouldn't air that episode, because I'm not going to contribute to this.
So he's like, I don't want to contribute to what's going on. And I guess he kind of alludes to it there. He's like, I thought maybe it would be a learning moment, but that's not what it is. Kanye did an album release live stream in Chicago last night that they cut off. There's some streaming platform that's kind of trying to get people to pay attention to it called Veeps. I think iHeart has done stuff with it. I think we've run promos of live streams on Veeps. And so Kanye has some album or something out called Vultures. I don't know what it is. It's whatever his new thing is. He's got his daughter on it. Gonna drag this poor kid into the situation. And they were running the live stream from the album release party. And he goes into, I'm a genius anti-Semite or something. And they cut it off. They said, no, thank you, no more. I'm still a crazy bipolar anti-Semite is what Kanye said. And they cut the live stream short. So the people who were there at the venue, wherever that was in Chicago, saw the whole thing. But
I thought Jonah Hill made him love Jews again. Didn't he say that?
I don't know. It's Kanye. It was Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. That's who he's been collabing with. And
God,
then
where has he been? I haven't heard Ty Dolla $ign in a long
I know,
time.
right? Well, Kanye brought him out of retirement. If anybody could do it. And then Northwest, one of their daughters, him and Kim, she's 10 now. And she's, if your parents are super famous, what are you going to do? There's a part of me that would think, I don't want to drag my children into this. But if your kid goes, I want to do what you do. So she did a couple of verses on one of his songs. And Kanye also compared himself to Bill Cosby and R. Kelly in that they are all unfairly canceled celebrities. Doesn't strike me that he's being canceled, though, if you can still log on and watch him do a show, but I don't know. Have you heard his daughter? You heard any of her bars?
No, I missed this. Didn't show up on
in your algorithm.
It didn't show up after I listened to John
Mayer.
Yeah, no, the St. Almost. Fire.
John Parr, St. Almost Fire didn't come up with a new Kanye banger.
I love it here. We gonna take over the year for another year. It's your bestie, Miss Westy. Don't tryna test me. It's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy. Just bless me. Bless me. It's your bestie, Miss Westy.
So that's
it sounds like a 10-year-old rapping. That's about
that's right.
what you're gonna get. That's not.
That's a wild thing to kind of straddle, though, too, because if Kanye's your dad, there's nothing you can do about that. And if your kid says, hey, I want to take, you're a Nepo baby of the highest order, I might add, you might as well take advantage of your dad being in the studio. But on the other hand, I'd be like, do I want to subject my 10-year-old kid to everything negative that's going to come to her because of this? Because Kim's dating Odell Beckham Jr. now. And they're trying to keep that on the DL because they're like, Kanye's going to start making comments. And
It's been a year now, I think.
We'd like to push that off as far as we possibly
They've been
can.
together for a year?
Well, they've just now said, yes, we are, right? Like they were I think they were seen together a couple times, but they've just come out and said, yes, we are a thing. Because he had a kid with like his girlfriend like 9 months ago or something. So I don't know. He had some hot model that he had a kid with. And I don't know. It's a wild situation, though. So Poundcake, to your point, down the road, I could see Bill Maher going, all right, here's the Kanye interview.
It's just exploitative. I just feel like
Well, who's being exploited? I mean,
Bill Maher, he knew. I don't think.
Well, he didn't drag Kanye into the situation.
But that's what I'm saying. He could be coming to Bill Maher as like a refuge. Like, okay, no one else is taking my interviews, so this would be a great time. People go on interviews to promote products sometimes. Especially
yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's got no obligation to treat Kanye with kid gloves. I mean, Bill Maher's a Jewish guy.
I don't think
half Jewish.
I'm not saying he's treating him with kid gloves, but he knew what it was like. He knew what it was going to be. Just like when you get Donald Trump, no one's surprised.
No, but
no one's surprised when Donald Trump is Donald Trump in an interview.
I take your point, and I agree with you. But it sounds like he thought, like Bill said, I think he thought, I'm Bill Maher.
I
Yeah.
can get through him.
That's right.
That's ego.
And you can't blame him for that. I mean, wouldn't everybody love to be the person who gets Kanye to come to some kind of different conclusion? And then you'd be like, you're never going to believe this conversation that Cody Brown has with Kanye West on Cake by the Lake, where Kanye comes clean about, we see him in a new light. That's all he's looking for. But he keeps shining the same light on himself. And it's going to push him further and further into irrelevance.
And my only
Plus,
thing
he's got those dumb silver teeth. So when he's like doing videos and chats with people now, you can barely understand what he's saying.
He was just saying that he can't get booked at venues. The only venue that would book him was like the stadium or the arena or stadium in Chicago because they don't want to do his shows.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. So he does an Instagram and he goes, hey, imagine being Kanye and you're asking the public for help with booking a gig. He goes, we sold out the United Center, which is not true. But he said we sold it out, but they won't book me. I didn't understand that at all. And he's like imploring the public to help him get booked. Who watching you is going to help you book a show? You know all the promoters. If they're not returning your calls, what, some kid's going to hit? I know a guy.
Well, no, you can.
My dad works in the ticket office at Madison Square Garden.
Well, you could demand. Just like they were muting R. Kelly, they were outside of the stadiums protesting. You can protest that they do allow Kanye to get booked.
Yeah, but those protests didn't change anything for R. Kelly. They didn't go, oh, okay.
No, they did.
They knew there was demand for the music. They don't want to be associated with it. I'm curious what the venue was where he was doing this listening party last night with Thank You $. I got a break. If you want to send a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live there. You can hit me up with an email if you need. I'll have Train and